Hello and welcome to the Sweaty the Farmer and the Game Design or Mango Mediators are 24/7 here for you to fix any PvP related issues. Just $99.99 the second. Call now! Our lines are open. This is episode number 36. Player playing with players. I am the long name gamer as the Sweaty.
I am Lucho the Farmer. Thanks for joining us in this episode. This week we slay our way up the ranks in glorious PvP combat.
It is glorious! But before that, let's take a look at this week's news. On the docket we have fan-made Diablo 2 remastered in Unreal Engine 4, the World of Warcraft auction house has been nerfed, and Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed, and all the DLC has been delayed. Alright, so is it this Diablo 2 remaster thing is not gonna be like officially done by Blizzard?
This one, I don't know.
Like I heard,
are you asking me, is Blizzard gonna make an official Diablo 2 remaster? Who knows?
Who knows? But I think I heard like Riker or someone talking about like they're gonna do this Diablo 2 remake, like revival, reset, re something. I heard something like something in the news. So I thought this was like related to that one.
No,
it's not related to that one.
No, this is how an ongoing project that Fan has been working on for a long time now. He's been working on basically on remaking Diablo 2 on the Unreal Engine 4. On Unreal Engine 4.
Cool. So this is like a full like remake, like he's doing like new assets and just translated the new maps, just making the maps everything from scratch, or what?
I think so. I don't. Maybe it is hard to tell. Like, I don't know how is he exactly doing it.
Yeah.
But I know that this has been a project that a lot of the Outlook community has kept an eye on for a long time now.
It kind of looks like by the little like YouTube showcase
gameplay trailer.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing a full. Like
I think it might be like a full. Like he has done everything.
Yeah, I love that he's using like for the showcase he's using like the default Unreal Engine like help bars and that sort of stuff.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's making everything from scratch.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it is hard to tell if he can like how much can he like backwards engineer from the original game.
Yeah. Well, I guess that he can like just like take the concepts of all like, but like the thing is like he can take all the maps and recreate them, which is fairly easy. And then take all the systems, like the abilities and that sort of stuff, and recreate them in a new engine. That's
the question. The question, it can be. I don't know.
Yeah.
How faithful is that recreation? There are probably a lot of. Or maybe no. Maybe it's super straightforward. But we don't know how things were coded. That's what I'm saying. That maybe he found a way to reverse engineer some of the knocks and cracks.
Yeah, who knows? Like, but I'm 100% like I'm almost 100% sure that this project like is at least in developer in Blizzard. Like they're remaking Diablo 2.
Oh, they probably are. The question is,
the thing is like I think the problem of that and why they didn't do it with Diablo 1 is that they have to do everything again. It's not like
Oh
with
yeah, no,
Warcraft 3 when they just like kind of it was easier because they didn't do everything from scratch. They had access to some old code and that sort of stuff. But I think for the Diablo games, I think they have to do everything from the ground up.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even David Brooks said it at some point that if Blizzard wants to remake Diablo 2, they have to basically make a new game.
Yeah, they have to make a new game. That's why I'm suspecting that that's what been taking so long for Blizzard to actually make the success of Diablo 2.
Sure, but it's one of the things that the community look at this fan-made project and says, okay, like this is one dude making it.
Yeah.
Come on. How can Blizzard
a huge company
just throw money at the problem? And
throw money at the problem.
I mean, that means hiring a lot of people.
Yeah, that means like almost making like an entire game dev team just to remake the Diablo 2.
I mean, that's probably what they have a new team that takes charge of the classic games.
Yeah. Yes. The one that are in charge of Diablo 3 and Heroes of the Storm and all these other like franchises.
I forgot the name, the
3.
Legacy something.
Yeah, the Legacy team, something like that. Yeah.
Some
they even patch like StarCraft 1 still, and they do all those developers of like shell franchise that they have.
Yeah, so in terms of having a team to develop it, they probably have the power,
main power, I guess.
At least like the infrastructure to it.
Yeah, and then the question is, how big is the classics team, right? Because if I'm like the suspicion for at least for Diablo 3, it was that they have like 6-7 people just working on Diablo 3. On that team, on the legacy team, like that's the size of the team that is working in keeping updated Diablo 3, for example.
Sure, but again, the point that the community makes is this is one guy,
and if he can do it,
if he can do this much, I think like in 1 or 2 years.
That's a long time for one dude, but I understand.
It is a long time, but it's one dude.
Yeah.
And that's probably not his full-time job.
Correct. Yes.
That is probably him sitting on his free time, just working on it.
Yeah, just I want to translate this great game into something else and like just do it. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm like these are the kind of things that make the community wonder.
What are they
why
doing?
Blizzard? Why?
Yeah. Why Blizzard? Why are you so?
Yeah, and I'm not saying again. I'm not saying that it's easy, but
yeah, it's like I don't know. After all the problems that happened with Warcraft 3, right now the community is like, I don't know if we want for Blizzard to actually do it. Just let this guy do it. I think that's the collective feeling is like after they ruin Warcraft 3, remaking it. I don't know if they want to touch another franchise for remaking and ruin it too.
Fair. That is fair, but
yeah. Anyway, so
I don't know. The Diablo community needs something. Diablo 4 is probably not that close in.
Yeah, it's far away
to be released. So
far away. But I wonder what happened with Diablo Immortal in these crazy times.
We got the coronavirus. And
yeah, exactly. I wonder what happened with that project. It was like everybody was saying like it was almost ready to go out.
It was almost ready, and then Blizzard said, "Yeah, it's not up to our standards, quote unquote." And no one has heard anything else from the project.
Yeah, it's been
aside that a couple of months ago, something appeared in in one Chinese like app store or something.
What? They leak it or something like that?
It wasn't leaked. It was like, you know, when they're gonna release games, like
They do the promos.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do the promos, and you can subscribe like
To follow
for yeah
the promos and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So that happened a couple months ago, like in a Chinese like app
Forum site.
store.
Yeah.
In one of the app stores that that they're super regulated.
Yes.
So, but aside from that, nothing else have come to light out of Immortal, as far as I know.
Mm. Yeah, I wonder what this project is because I don't know.
I
It's an
I,
interesting one.
no, I think Blizzard wouldn't be mad if it just fades away.
It goes away. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyways, for our next news, what happened with the auction house?
Oh yeah, so
I meant to slow down the use of atoms. Is this affecting TSM or
yeah,
what is
it
happening?
affects everyone. Basically, and this changed. So there's a lot of drama around this.
All right.
So they want to. Basically, what they did is that they sneak in some changes into the auction. I think this was for alpha, not for the live game.
Okay. All right.
And basically, the change is that you have a certain amount of, you have a budget of actions in the auction
As a player.
as a player. And after you fill that budget, you
Yeah.
get throttled. So basically, your actions don't happen as fast.
What does it contain? Like checking prices? Does that count as an action?
Everything. Any query into
So
the
any
auction house
interaction
is an action.
any interaction between a WoW
Yeah.
account and an action account counts as an action.
Yeah. So
Oof.
searching an item
Yeah.
just to check prices, that counts as a query. Canceling an auction, sending an auction,
Fuck.
purchasing something. And the cap was super low. It was like 25
Actions.
things. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
basically,
So why is this aimed to? So what they want to achieve with this?
So apparently, they basically want to make the auction house more efficient, like faster to use for the average WoW player.
Okay.
Because the power users,
Yeah.
which ended up being for the most part like TSM users, like there is no power user that doesn't use TSM.
Correct. Yeah.
So, but the basic idea is that power users basically have that so much interaction with the auction house.
Yeah.
That they slow down, like they have a significant effect on slowing down the auction house on itself, and it makes the experience for other players worse.
Really? What?
That's what they claim. Which I use TSM. I don't consider myself a power user.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's like I was thinking about it. It's just like useful to have like the price of stuff on the
items. It is useful to have the prices
and like know that you can like close your eyes and an action will be correctly like put up in the market with good chances that you will get picked up, and that's it. That's our intention, right?
I just made a couple of groups.
Yeah.
I sell things now and then, but this is like I'm definitely no power user, but no, like I'm not doing this all the time. Like
yeah,
reposting stuff as soon as it gets back.
Yeah, no.
And I never felt like the auction house was super slow.
No, never. Like I never feel like I had like I haven't have like a bad interaction with the auction house so far.
It is not super fast.
But how fast does he want it to be? Like that's my question. It's like as a normal player, like you enter, you console, you buy stuff, and that's it, right? How often do you do that, right? Or you post stuff, and that takes like nothing. Nothing takes like a second. To
there is one thing too. Is that like I never felt this, but I don't know if this is a bigger problem in full servers.
Ah, yeah. We are in an average server, an average size
We're in a
server.
highly populated server.
We are in a highly populated server,
Yeah.
but we haven't have any problems. Like there is
I
more than a higher populated server.
yeah, there are full servers.
Ah, they're full servers. Oh, okay, okay.
And
What
like
is the
there are just
difference?
servers with more. Basically in a highly populated, you should always be able to log in.
Yeah,
In a full server,
you
there
sometimes have
exists the
queues.
possibility that you can get into a queue to get into a server.
Okay.
If you're gonna log in, it could be okay. Your position
In
100 in the
in
queue.
position blah blah blah. All right, yeah, that's the difference. But in terms of
That's the
population,
difference.
is it there a lot of difference of like in a full server?
I don't know. Like
and a high
to be
population?
completely honest, I
Yeah.
don't know the full answer about that.
All right, yeah, fair, yeah.
But one thing that I know is that usually like full servers have more active auction houses.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, of course, have like more movement action houses. So maybe it's a problem for that because
Yeah.
like we haven't had any problem. At least in our experience, in the time that we've been playing, in the time that I've been playing, I haven't zero problems
No.
with the auction house.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
it is. I mean, the community hated the first approach that they took. They now change it, and I just read this morning.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're not. They basically receive a lot of feedback from the community. So as
Yeah.
subject tours will say, it was a shit show.
Yeah.
They change it now so that they are gonna throttle canceling actions.
Canceling actions, auctions.
Yeah.
Why? Why? What
Because
is that? The
because
higher?
that's what most of the power users do. Like they just keep checking on the actions and on the prices.
So they
And if
cancel
something is
re-up.
not beneficial, they cancel and repost a lot.
Oh, no,
Like
that makes
in
sense.
mass.
Yeah, of course. And that creates a huge. Yeah, that create a huge like request problem. Yeah, I understand that.
So what the community was saying is that the average user just like post things, and
Yeah.
if they sell good, and if they don't sell, they'll just repost it.
Yeah.
But like after the period ends and the things get mailed to you. Like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what
normal users usually don't cancel auctions.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
So that probably throttling cancels.
Yeah.
Would better aim to basically throttle power user.
Yeah. So basically, what they did is like Blizzard took an axe to a problem, and then the community said, "No, a scalpel, please."
Yes, and a lot of people also complained that it was like sneaky, and it's really not sneaky. It was there. They didn't hide it.
Yeah.
There was no big like what people are complaining is that there was no big
announcement or like saying or
announcement of
post or whatever. Yeah.
we are gonna mess up with the auction house.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they have to, and they're probably doing all of these things for Shadowlands.
Yes.
So if they're gonna mess with things, now is probably a time to do it.
Of course, before the alpha is the time to do it. Yeah.
So I don't think is that. I mean, I'm glad they listened to a community because 25 interactions with the auction house like queries is nothing. Like,
yeah,
it's insane.
yeah, it's nothing. Like people like you and me, which I imagine in the background, TSM has a bunch of interactions with the auction house to retrieve like live prices and that sort of stuff, right?
Although the live prices don't come from asking the auction house,
comes from a database.
Yeah, from the databases that TSM itself curates.
Okay, all right. But it has to read the auction house points, right?
It has to, but it probably is not. It's probably not you asking the auction house in your server.
It's probably what TSM asking directly or what?
Yeah.
But I don't know because you still have to log into your Blizzard account through TSM, right?
you have to log into your Blizzard. You don't have to use your Blizzard
in the
account, do you?
external app, because
Is
you
it your?
create a log, you create a login
I
into
know.
TSN,
But is it your Blizzard account?
and then you connect it to your Blizzard account, and that's
Yeah, but
like
like,
that app is the one doing the request to update your add-on in the game.
yeah, but it will be as of like for how. Yeah, like it probably does, and curious for prices
Yeah,
through all the accounts. But I don't think that's the only way that you get update prices.
fair enough. Yeah, that's my only concern. Like the rest, I think posting is fine. But like if you're like, imagine if you're like those one post, like imagine if you're one day you dedicate a day to like farming and then posting in the action house, right? And then you have all these things to post and then you reach your cap. That's ridiculous. Right?
Yeah,
For like normal players. And I
yeah,
guess
that's
I
the
haven't feel
point.
like the action hand is unresponsive at any points for what I
I,
played.
I again, I haven't felt it either, but it could be worse on other servers.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I'm glad that he actually like took like a scalpel to the problem, not just like absolutely cap everything. I think that's the thing that I like
To
about
be
this.
honest, they probably run numbers
Yeah,
into the logs that they have for the auction house, and they just make a decision based on the numbers that they saw,
yeah.
and they just said, "Yeah, we're just gonna change it like this," and people will complain. I'm,
As
I'm
usual.
pretty sure. That,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's up and down because it is hard for them to know a priori.
yeah.
The only
Yeah.
thing that they really have are the numbers. So they probably
Yeah, of
just
course.
run some stuff through the logs. They get some basic stats, and they say, "Okay, 25. That's the number."
That's what Matt says.
I really don't think it was like a random number
Yes,
that it
yes, it
sounded
is.
low.
Yeah.
It's probably like the average amount of
Of like
queries that
requests that
that
no one.
users
Yeah,
do, and you're like, yeah, that sounds fine.
yeah.
And
And like,
and like there are millions of people, so there are thousands and thousands and thousands of users that rarely interact with the auction house.
yeah, like if I think about it, I interact with the actions like once a week, give
Yeah,
or take.
so those kind of users probably drag down the number of interaction. And if you think people have a lot of ads that they never use,
Yeah, and those will be like zero interactions in
yeah.
those side of. But I'm guessing that they're looking by accounts. They're not looking by characters.
Mm, it's it could be it could not be the right approach because again you could have power users that have um, like a couple of files that they use a lot because they have different professions, like different crafting professions
Yeah,
in which they sell a lot.
yeah.
So maybe
So you think the approach was
I don't
by
know. I'm just
character?
saying that
Maybe.
there like there is no
Yeah, you're speculating there. That was the
yeah.
approach. Yeah,
Anything is possible.
yeah.
And I'm just saying that they probably just ran some statistics on the logs,
Yeah,
and they found 25,
25
and
seems nice.
they just went fuck it, we're gonna send it, people are gonna complain. If they were not aware of that,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have changed it so fast because the change happened at the beginning of the week, and they changed it to what it's now, I think by Thursday or Friday.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Yeah.
So they just took the logs, they just ran some math. 25 sounds good, fuck it, send it. We're gonna
See what
change it
happens.
anyway.
It's alpha is fine.
I'm pretty sure that was the process.
Yeah. That sounds about right. All
Which I
right.
won't blame them.
Yeah. And for our last news, Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed to September. It was delayed from May to August and now has been delayed to September. And of course, all the other DLC will accompany that delay. This is a highly anticipated game. I'm anticipating. This is just giving me more time to like get the money to make my pre-order, because for sure I'm gonna be playing this game. But the interesting thing is like how much delays because of the situation that we're living in right now. Do you think it's gonna? Do you think like Shadowkeep is not gonna come this year? Like, or speculations was
Shadowlands.
like October, November, right?
Shadowlands.
Shadowlands, yeah, yeah, yeah. Or speculation was October, November, right?
Oh, I Shadowlands is probably gonna happen this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're sure? But it will be probably October, November, right? As we said.
Yeah, it's not soon.
Yeah, you were saying like even December was a point that you were
Yeah.
saying that.
I mean, just the fact that I don't know how close you keep an eye on WoW news, but like there has been a lot of movement on the alpha. Like
Yeah, I saw that they
the
they released the dungeon. They started releasing the
not only
the
at by this point,
legendaries.
not only at by this point, they have released all the zones.
Correct. Yeah, yeah,
They have released all the classes on Torghast
yeah.
and all the coherent abilities. So that like they're starting to put in alpha a lot of the core pieces of the game.
All right.
So the first big thing that they worked on was Torghast, which
Yes, yes.
was and that took months.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now they started adding all the covenants and all the covenant abilities, and that's gonna probably take again a big chunk of the alpha time.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like between Torghast and the covenant system, those seem to be like the core mechanics for the
Yeah.
expansion
Correct. Yeah. The
and like
governance and
progression.
progress. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So based on that, it seems like the alpha is moving at a good pace. Actually,
No, nice.
uh, things that they probably won't put on an alpha are like quests and stuff like that.
And like the
Story,
final animations and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
And
they're like
final
still missing animations and names or those things,
cinematics
but
and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
cinematics, that's not even going to be in the beta. Like
Is
no,
there a beta?
some
Is there going to be a beta for it?
yeah,
Oh, all right.
yeah, there is. So alpha's been moving at a good speed.
Yeah.
That's what gives me some peace of mind with respects to Shadowlands.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah,
has
yeah.
been a lot of news going on. There has been a lot of stuff happening. The only thing, the only thing that is, and I don't know how to feel about it. Like, do you remember the announcement stream that they canceled because of all of the stuff that was going on?
The announcement where they what?
They canceled a stream on. They were gonna make a
yeah.
huge announcement on June 9.
Yeah. Correct. Yes.
And they haven't rescheduled that.
Yeah, that is true.
So and everyone like now a lot of people are speculating what was going to be announced there. Were they going to announce a release date? Which
And then
would
they
have been
suddenly
nice.
like they say no, maybe not.
Well, it's just weird that they haven't rescheduled it by
Yeah.
now
Correct.
because it's been 2 weeks almost.
Yeah, almost 2 weeks since they canceled that live stream.
It's almost 2 weeks since the console event. So I don't know. At least the alpha is moving, so I don't feel like Shadowlands is that in bad shape.
All right, so hopefully we'll get like what beta in August and then pre-patch around October, around end of October.
Probably patch around October, November, and release probably
You still
by the end of
say
November,
like December, end of November.
Yep.
Say that window. Yeah, I think that's a good window because with everything happened, I don't think people are gonna move much for holidays. So they wouldn't have the holiday time to like play WoW, I guess. It's not a bad idea.
And it is always smart to release for the holiday season.
Yes, correct. Or close to it.
So
So I think
yeah,
it is. Yeah.
like for the not close to like January is close to the holiday season, but it's kind of a miss.
All right, close to before the holiday season, maybe. But yeah, so hopefully they don't delay more. Cyberpunk is looking like really good. Talking about the news here, and I'm really waiting for this game. Like so far, the Record and Seed project has been good in terms of releases and quality of games overall. Even if like Lucho won't probably play it.
I really don't care about this game.
What?
I really don't care about this game.
Yeah, there you go. But like I brought it up because of all the delays that many projects have been having, like because of the situation and everything else. So we expect like
it's not unexpected.
Yeah, it's not unexpected, but we expect like that hopefully in this like this the release cycle in this year has been super slow. So but we still hope that everybody can like release their stuff in good quality and that sort of stuff. That's what we wish for in these crazy times.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, hopefully it's nice. All right, and that's it for the news. We move to our deep dive. Please do the disclaimer while I turn on the light.
So all the discussion in the deep dive is based on our personal experience, and we may make a lot of mistakes in the discussion. So feel free to yell at your screen.
And then put a nice post or send us a nice message after you yell at the screen. And you come
basically
back. Yeah. Anyways, on the docket we have PvP in WoW is impossible to access for new players apparently. Warframe reworks his partner program. This was big, and the value of a good new player experience. And I will add something here because we do announce the topic that we're gonna cover, but last podcast we didn't cover the last deep dive that we announced, and that happened because we don't wanna have longer podcasts that we want, so maybe we sometimes don't cover.
We want to stick to a 2-hour mark as close as possible.
Yeah, so if we don't cover one of the topics, that generally the last topic, which is gets cut in if we go too long in the other two, don't worry. Like if you still want to hear about that topic, like send us a message or communicate, let us know, and we will cover it like in the beginning of the next podcast.
That is a fair.
Yeah. Right? All right, without further ado, PvP in World of Warcraft is impossible to access. I was reading this and I was like, well, I don't know how much, like my opinion is like, well, the post says that you need to jump through a 500 hoops to get to proper PvP state in World of Warcraft as it is right now in BFA.
This person is talking about rated PvP. Let's be clear about that.
About ranked PvP?
Yeah.
Yes, he's talking about ranked PvP because of course in any instance you can PvP in other like things.
This is definitely not about not only advice. It's not about world PvP, which you just turn on and let it rip.
Yeah,
and it is not about like quick matches. Like
correct.
It is specifically about rated battlegrounds and rated arenas.
Rated, all right, yeah, because you can still access battlegrounds and arenas, and you will like.
Yeah, also accessibility problem that he mentions is not about. We'll get into it. So go ahead.
Yeah, so he was talking about like all these delays that you have, all these hoops that you have to go through to get to rank PvP properly in World of Warcraft. So you have to reach max level, get rep in Najatar by the expansion that we are in BFA. do dailies to get access for gears. That's like normal progression, which I find like it's normal progression, dude. Legendary Cloak Quest Chain, that's a pain in the ass. I agree with him. Farm PvE, mythics, and dungeons for gear. That's normal progression, but it's sometimes a pain if you don't have like people to help you go through it. And if you've been away, he mentions that if you've been away, you have to learn the dungeons and raids because by this point everybody assumes that you know how they work. And like as the conversation of requirements that we had last podcast, is kind of understandable. And grind dailies for access to rank 2 and 3 to even compete in PvP. So that's the thing that he's all the hoops that you have to jump to get to rank PvP, right? So first things first is like me personally, I don't consider World of Warcraft as a PvP focus experience.
You don't,
Yeah,
but a lot of people do.
I know, right? So and I'll
Let's
make
be
it
clear.
yes. So I don't feel like the game. I don't feel like it's the important word. I don't feel like the game is very constructed about the idea that every new player that engages with World of Warcraft has come to the game to exclusively, or not exclusively, to primarily go and do ranked PvP. That's my opinion, right? And that's what I feel about this issue. But
I agree with that feeling,
yeah,
but you cannot dismiss the hardcore PvP community because of that.
correct.
Because it is a huge community.
Correct. So I feel like it's the same problem that Destiny had, where well, Destiny had like kind of a similar problem, but not exactly the same, where the community wanted like proper like rank PvP and to help out with the cheaters and all that sort of stuff. In a game where the majority of the community didn't feel like it needed that much attention. So I don't know if it's the same problem because, well, I've seen that there is a bunch of competitions in terms of rank PvP in the game,
Yeah.
right? And that makes it, that put a spotlight on it. That makes it like, oh yeah, it is actually an important part of the game, right?
It is, and Blizzard is it's trying to make it a thing.
All right. So now the question here is it too much to ask for players to get to rank PvP to go all those three, all of this?
Uh, yes and no. In my opinion, this person is it's mixing two different problems together,
Yeah.
but for a good reason. So
Alright.
first thing is that catching up in BFA is a pain in the ass because if you came late to expansion, you are behind like a massive amount of stuff.
Correct. To the point that I've been like debating if I wanted to do an alt. I've been like wanting to do like a fire mage alt for a long time and finish the other alt that I have, the paladin. But in the current expansion is such a pain that I've been deterred to actually go through it. Like the leveling point is easier, is not that bad. Like leveling,
it's not about leveling.
yeah, it's about going through all the things that BFA requires you to do to catch up.
It's about getting ready for quote unquote end content.
Yes.
And
that is a total pain in the ass.
yeah, but that's not. That is a problem of this specific expansion.
All right.
And that was a problem that came out of Azeroth Armor being kind of crappy.
Yeah.
They tried to fix it with essences in 8.2, and essences are a massive grind if you're doing it now instead of when it was intended to be
done.
Especially
with the essences tied to like raids. I haven't done like at this point. I didn't even bother.
Essences tied for everything.
Yeah.
For PvP, for world PvP, for battlegrounds, for different raids, for doing mythic keystones, for all kind of stuff. So if you don't have essences, catching up on essences is an enormous pain in the ass.
Yes, correct.
But that is not like what I want to say with that is a problem not only if you want to do PvP.
No.
That is a problem if you want to be quote
If you
unquote
want to play
competitive
this
doing
faction, that's it.
PvP.
Yeah.
No, like if you don't have your like by now your best in slot essences, and you get into a random like you get to plug like a keystone,
Yeah.
a mythic 14, mythic 15.
Yeah.
You're definitely not gonna like your DPS is not gonna compare for the most part with most people that have by now best in slot rank 3 essences.
Yeah. Correct. Yes.
So that it's not like there is a rating, but you're not gonna be competitive, quote unquote, with those
Yeah,
people.
if you don't have that, especially in PvP, that's it's super glaring in PvP.
But the specific essence problem is not exclusive to PvP, but it does affect PvP.
Yeah, I think it does affect it more. Like I've been running with not best in a slot essences in my warrior, and I've been like fairly okay in terms of doing in-game content in the PvE side of things.
Yes and no. I mean, I want to say yes, but we are not a hardcore rating guild.
That is
We're
true.
we're not hardcore pushing case.
Correct.
So you're not gonna be like if we're doing like mythic rating, you could not compete with all the other DPSs because they will probably have just better gear than us.
Fair
and
enough.
to push keys amount like beyond the ones that we can push,
Yeah.
it is pretty much impossible without best in slot essences.
Fair enough. So you want like that requirement.
Yeah, so I'm saying for what we do, we are fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfectly serviceable. But if we're to really be pushing, like these insane people who are clearing like plus 26
Yeah.
keys.
Jesus. All right. Yeah.
So for them, it really those kind of details really do matter.
Fair enough.
Are we there? Are we at that point? No.
Yeah. No.
But it is, and that's kind of let's say that's the top of the ladder, like
Fair.
those people.
Yeah.
And the problem, and this person didn't mention it, but it's also huge pain in the ass is corruptions now.
Oh yeah, the new system corrupted things now. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, all right, I think I will like save all the things of the currency to buy them, and then when it comes the rotation, the one that I need, which is Sever, then I will buy that, and then I will store it. That's my plan, I guess.
no, that is fine, but it's just like if you don't have good corruption now and you go into rated PvP, you'll encounter people with really good corruptions that makes a huge, like a freaking huge difference in DPS.
Jesus. So there is one more thing that you have to catch up. Like
Yeah.
beyond getting like good gear now, you have to like get to do
But then
like visions and
yeah.
Man, that's
but then again, I feel like that's affects PvE as well.
Fair
again, not for us because we are kind of in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, you're correct.
And we can do with what we have.
Yes.
But for the people like really pushing
Mythic
the content
plus,
to extreme, like those little differences make a huge like getting to that level. There are a lot of hoops to jump through.
All right, so I have a question.
But what I want to say is these problems are about BFA more than specific to PvE. It's just the gearing up in BFA is not
the pleasant.
It's not all friendly.
Yeah.
If you didn't do it at the beginning, it's a pain in the ass. Sure.
Correct. So yeah. So that was gonna be my question. Like, is it a problem of the now that we are in World of Warcraft, like the point of the expansion? So maybe the answer to this guy is like just wait for Shadowlands.
Oh, probably.
right? Just chill out and wait for Shadowlands. Your leveling of experience is gonna be better. It's gonna take a little bit less time. Uh, Gearing up in Shadowlands looks, at least for what we have seen in the alpha, much better.
That is, yeah. I mean, that definitely gearing up. Also, I have done. I had to do some rated PvP because I'm still missing one of my best in slot essences, and it comes from rated PvP.
Jesus. All right.
And I just did it the last week or a couple of weeks ago with Seal's help. He helped me through uh, rated twos,
Jesus. All right. That doesn't sound
and
pleasant.
it was not a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Like you really come across some like super mad. And okay, let's be clear. I'm not good at PvP.
Yeah.
I devote most of my energy to
PvE content. Yeah, we
PvE,
are not PvP players in World
and
by any stretch of the imagination.
PvP plays in a like it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
It really fucking is.
Do you actually like go to the task of like gearing up properly for the PvP ranked thingy, or just
No.
waiting?
I did it with my PvE gear. I changed some of my
Talents?
talents
Yeah.
and Azure essences and essences to suit better PvP.
All right, yeah.
But it, like more than that, it's just that the tempo of the game is different and the way that you use your abilities is different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, correct.
So
So
in that sense, it's
yeah.
a different game. Like
So I think a big criticism is like maybe they shouldn't have put that power in places like that. I feel like that's the big problem of like of this expansion in particular. They put power in places
I
that
don't.
that like with the essence thing is I don't think they should be in the places there are, because some of the essence are like inaccessible by now, or like they take a huge pain in the ass to actually get to it. Like I agree that they should had some kind of grind to level them up, but I don't agree to obtain and you should have to go through like 500 hoops or like do stuff that you don't want to do in the game, right? To acquire that
I
kind of like
I
blind power.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I'll say something. Like what, for example, for my hunter,
Yeah.
one of my best slot essences is conflict and strike, and that one comes like to get rank 2, you have to reach a certain rank in rank
What the
PvP.
fuck? That's ridiculous. All right. Yeah.
But it is like you need to get 1,000, like a rank of 1,000,
Yeah.
which is really easy to get.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Okay. Okay. But it's still like
So
it's still
but you still have to.
yeah.
I would say yes. I will say I don't have that much of a problem with that,
Yeah.
more than me being a little bit annoying with it, just because it is easy enough to get there
Yeah.
that it is an inconvenience, but it's such a minor inconvenience, and it's probably there just to show people like, yeah,
There's
maybe
rank
you will
PvP.
enjoy rated PvP.
Yeah.
And basically, if basically you can get to that rank in a couple of hours if you're lucky.
Yeah, fair enough. But I think a better showcase of like PvP, of like giving a taste of players PvP is like war PvP or battlegrounds. I think those are more friendly-ish
They
ways
are
of PvP.
they
If you
are
wanna interested people in PvP that they rank, like throwing them directly into rank for for an essence, right?
they are, but again, rated is such a different game that normal and most of the times near battlegrounds are kind of the same.
Yeah,
Like it just plays different. Like
I know. I think the problem. I think I insist. The problem is like they put that power in not very like the acquisition of that power of the essence system is kind of not very good in our opinion. I think You want to put power in
I,
places, you better put it through
I,
gear than anything else. Like, because I heard this complaint of like PvP, the PvP players in WoW couldn't gear up for in-game activities doing what they like, which is PvP, right? Because they
yeah,
don't have a gear vendor and blah blah blah. And like I think that's fixed in Shadowline, and I agree that they should acquire power by doing PvP, but I don't think they should that power acquisition shouldn't be like tied to those like secondary power systems that everybody should have access to.
that is maybe that is that goes to a different point. Do we want to completely separate PvP from PvE gearing?
But you're talking about gearing, not power acquisition. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, but gear is power in this game.
Yes, I know the gear is power, but like the ideal will be like, for example, if you're a warrior, you have like three best in slot. One is in the raid, one is on PvP rank vendor, and the other is another thing, like dungeons. And those three pieces will be like interchangeable in and it will have utility for the particular thing that you're doing, right? But it will have interchangeable. So my example is like, oh, I like a lot of PvP, but I do want to go and see the raid or do some mythic dungeons. I should be able to take my PvP gear, and be kind of competent in the other two activities, right? I'm getting power specific for the activity that I do, but I still can go and experience the other two activities. And the same for raiding and mythic plus, right? That should be the ideal thing, right? That way you don't separate necessarily thing. They should be like parallel powers, not one more than the other, right?
Yes, and I don't completely agree with that,
All right.
because I somehow believe that. I mean, how do you find being competitive in your off areas of the game?
How do I find? What do you mean? What do you mean? What is
So,
that
so,
question?
so for example, you
All
want to
right.
gear up doing PvP.
Yes.
What do you mean? And you get your gear from PvP, and you get your best gear for PvP.
All
Do you
right.
want to
Yeah.
take that player with that gear into a Mythic Plus setting?
Yes.
How well that person should perform?
Should be below the should be should be below the person, like average, should be an average person and a little bit higher than the average person, but not higher than the person who gear up through Mythic Plus.
I think it should be below average,
Below average.
because if you really think about it, like, at least for arenas, the way that arenas play
Yeah.
compared to the way that Mythic Plus plays
Yeah.
are just like completely different things, like night and day.
Well, I have a question for you, because I've been pondering about the gearing and that sort of overlap gearing between activities. And like, I feel like a fix for this problem of gearing up through an activity that I like to do, because what we are trying to incentivize is like, if you like certain part of the game
Yeah.
and you invest a lot of time in it, you should be rewarded and being powerful in that certain part of the game,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
be
Absolutely.
competent in the other parts, right?
Yeah,
Be
the problem
competent.
is where that competent line falls.
I think that competent line falls around average, like close around the average player that plays all the time in that part of the game. And I think a good solution for that is like, if you acquire an item, and this is an interesting, like, this is a difficult thing in terms of itemization. If you acquire an item doing that activity, that item should have modifiers on that activity. So an easy
Oh,
example is, it's like, uh, this piece of gear has these stats, and it has a little stat that says like, I don't know, I do 5% more damage in the raid that I
Oh,
acquire it with.
I agree. I like that.
Right?
I think that I think that is an option that should be explored. That
Yeah.
if you get PvP gear, you should like that gear should have like set bonuses. If you're
Yes.
wearing 3 pieces of PvP gear, you get these bonuses when running PvP instance.
Exactly. Yeah. Battlegrounds, arena, whatever, and you get like this bonus and blah blah blah.
That opens the possibility, like, and that exists for. I mean, it is not that used to be a thing more in the past,
Yeah.
and right now there are small remnants of that.
Fair enough.
So, for example, rather than trinkets,
Yes. Yeah. It
when
has
you are
like these
wearing,
modifiers, right? If you have both,
yeah, if you
it
have both
does.
of them, when you are in Nyalora, you have a special thingy that happens,
Yeah. Correct.
which is fine. That opens a possibility. Should we have uh like specific modifiers for Mythic Plus?
Yes. It is an entirely different beast.
It is. It, it plays completely different than
Correct.
raiding, and it
Correct.
plays completely different than PvP.
Absolutely. You should have modifiers for Mythic Plus for keys.
That's yeah, I agree with that. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I think that is probably the I don't want to say easiest, but the most flexible solution.
Yes. Correct. Correct.
You can try to balance it out by messing around with these instant bonuses or like set bonuses or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Correct. Yeah. And that way you can like acquire that power for a specific and be properly rewarded for playing your activity that you like, right? And so you
I
are become kind of a specialist, but you still have like good gear for other activities. Even if the bonus doesn't apply, the gear is still fine with the stats that you have, right?
yes. What if the only I again I want to say this. I agree. I think that is a good idea. The
Yeah.
only thing that worries me is that it will funnel people into one activity, and that is not good. Like I want to raid, but
Yes.
then I am behind. So for example, to stay on top of 2 out of the 3, that's going to require a huge time investment because basically you have 2 different gearing up. You have to gear up twice. Basically.
Yes.
How much is that a problem?
That is a problem in the sense of the way that World of Warcraft has his looting progression.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And that could be adjusted, right?
How?
Either dropping more loot or like guarantee certain drops or like guarantee certain set drops for you to be
Okay,
easier geared of some kind of
dropping
a
more loot
secondary system.
is not gonna happen. Like we already know that in Shadowlands we're gonna get less loot than what we're getting right now in BFA.
Jesus. All right. But we're getting like I think we're getting legendary making.
We're gonna get legendary making,
Yeah.
but again, we don't know much about how that is gonna work inside from
Well,
some
as
basic things of knowing like which specific stats. Like you can target which stat you wanna get in the crafted piece
yeah.
by using the specific materials and things that come from other professions. But that's pretty much it. That's all we know so far.
Yeah, that's a speculation.
And we don't know how legendary crafting is really gonna work now.
Correct.
So
But I think it's if it's like that and you can like have more control over what drops, you get maybe gearing up for those kind of things will be easy. Or if you get like certain guaranteed drops for doing certain things.
I don't like guaranteed drops. I think that's
You never like guaranteed drops. Like
I've never liked that idea. I like random stuff a lot.
fair enough. Like even
But
if
that
it's
may be just
like
me.
maybe it's like inside a pool, right? Like if you go do this, you will get a guaranteed drop of this inside the pool of this. Like this done. If you kill this raid boss, you will get a guaranteed drop of the set of the of the raid and be like inside a certain pool, right? To get your
Maybe.
randomness.
Yeah, that is. I think that is a problematic idea for making the content formal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you only need to run the if the like usually at least for raid bosses like
Yeah.
they have a really small pool of items that they drop for each spec
Yeah.
or for each class. So
Yes.
let's say 4 of them. So that basically means you have to kill that boss 4 times and then you're done with that boss.
Technically not, because you can have duplicates.
You could, but like
Yeah.
there is a possibility that you're done.
You can have duplicates, or you can have not proper roles for what you're doing. That's the other thing, right?
Yeah, and it how it works now is that so you want to make the rolls random. How is it now is that you could get nothing, but the rolls on the
Correct.
gear
Yeah.
are fixed.
Are guaranteed? Oh, all
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So if you get this pair of legs from this boss for this armor type,
These roles
is
are
gonna
guaranteed.
have these stats.
Oh, all right.
What is
Yeah.
random?
Okay.
For example, the corruption. It could drop. It could roll with corruption
Or
or
not.
not, and it could roll with any of the corruptions that exist.
All right.
But the stats, like if you go to heroic this boss and kill it,
Yeah.
and you get the male legs, those male legs from that boss are gonna have this and this number.
Maybe the role then maybe the possibility of him is getting the raid set bonus like an
Yeah,
affix,
no,
right?
sure. I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure the community will hate random
Stats. All right.
stats
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I
more
understand that.
than
Yeah. Then if you
more
get or
than we
not
have
the
now.
maybe you have like the system where you get like set bonuses, but those set bonuses are not guaranteed to certain pieces, are random affixes like corruption.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And people, I have the feeling that people won't like it. I like corruption. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I have so much fun with it.
The difference between this and corruption, like the set bonuses in corruption, is that a piece will be awarded as a set bonus, but it doesn't have like
I know
a random power.
Yeah? No, I know what you mean.
It will be a lot more like controllable. Like
it is less random, but it's
Yeah.
random nonetheless.
Yes.
And it could end up being the same as Titan Forging and that kind of stuff that people hated.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it cannot work. I like the randomness of it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that a lot of people in the war community don't enjoy the randomness of loot for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I have never understood, but okay.
Because people want it now, everything now. That's the reason.
No, they don't want it now.
All right.
No, they believe they want it now.
Yeah,
That's
that's my point.
But they don't want it. They don't want it now.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I agree to that. Yeah, but like people think that they want it now.
But they don't.
That's why they complain. That's why they complain.
I know. I'm just thinking about what people complain about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that it is a difficult question of how much power do you want to give? Do you want to share in between the activities?
Correct.
Because
Yes.
even though they're different, they're not completely disconnected.
Yeah.
It is weird. It is.
It is difficult, but I think my idea is not. It's not a bad solution.
No.
Completely.
I like your idea. I think I like the like set bonus
Type of thing. Yeah.
specific activity that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think now like Mythic Plus has it's by now like one of the core activities of the game.
Yeah.
Because Mythic Plus, to be fair, is a fairly recent addition to the game.
Oh yeah. In which expansion did it came in? Do you know?
And Legion.
Oh, it came in Legion.
Yeah.
The fact that we have like greater rifts in World of Warcraft.
So you think about it, it's a really new.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know it was that recent.
It is. I was not aware, but it is a quite recent addition to.
Yeah, but I think that's probably one solution for that problem of like I want to do certain activity, and I want to do this activity focus without like being totally disconnected from the game. And the set bonus thing, you can have like many answers, right? You can even have like a certain, like World of Warcraft fucking loves random currencies. Right? So to the point that you can like, I don't know, inject, for example, if you want to have like and this is another idea about the same system. If you want to have like um a uniform gearing pool, and then you inject those sets bonuses in your gear with a currency, like the corruption system that we have now. That's another way to do it. And that currency, you only get it from that activity that you're doing.
That, yeah, I mean,
right?
All of that is good.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you were to implement something like that, the question becomes, how much time do you want to burn each player on each activity?
Yeah. The question is there, how you balance that progression.
Yeah.
Treadmill, and that's a difficult question to answer. Because it's a thing about balancing, like how much time do you expect it, blah blah blah, how much rewards we will get weekly, etc., etc. And that is
I'm not saying, like, I like your idea.
Yeah.
It's probably really hard to balance because there are people out there who are gonna say, if I think like most PvE players, for the most part, enjoying doing both raids and Mythic.
Yeah.
Maybe raids more than Mythic Plus. Mythic Plus is definitely not for everyone.
Correct. Yeah.
It's a more specific, like it's a
different experience. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also kind of finicky. Like at higher levels, you need a lot of pieces.
Correct.
Falling into really specific places.
Yeah.
It's less flexible.
Yes.
But I feel like a lot of PvE players enjoy both to some degree.
Yeah.
And it is kind of like right now it is kind of okay.
Yeah.
That you can use one to gear for the other.
Yeah.
Like at least to start. So you can go, like, how do you prepare to raiding? You can go and run a couple of low level keys.
Yes. Yeah.
Get some decent gear.
Yeah.
To get you starting on raiding.
Which is fine. Which is fine. Like the things like these kind of modifiers, you shouldn't needed them for doing like low level activity stuff.
I know that it shouldn't. Right? I know that it shouldn't, and I get that that's not the spirit of your idea.
Yeah.
But you know that players twist things in unexpected ways.
Yes.
and as we were talking like last week about like the crazy requirement that people put into bugging.
Maybe we will have like, you have to have this set bonus for doing this key, and people will become stupid.
I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying that people are assholes. And,
yes.
and you can start seeing these stupid barriers of entry that are imposed by the community and not the system itself.
Correct.
But the system could just enable them to.
But
it is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
All right, but I think
getting into rated PvP is hard. to
Yeah, I think
return.
overall we agree with this because of this expansion. The progression of this expansion is, tell you the truth, is pretty shit.
I don't agree with that. Like, it is rough. Like
Yeah, it is
catching
rough.
up is
It is
is a
rough.
rough experience,
Yeah,
but I enjoy it. So,
yeah.
will I do it like on multiple alts? No,
No, and that's yeah.
but for the most part, I enjoyed the gearing of the expansion. It wasn't that bad for me.
Yeah, I didn't like the feeling that that when I was going through the things, it's like a lot of things that I say, oh, this system is cool. It was so irrelevant by the point that I get in. That is bad. Like that was a bad feeling, at least for me when I was like doing the leveling
I
up.
I can see that that one is a harder thing to fix.
Yeah.
While definitely relies a lot into this is the current content and
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
the thing that you should be doing.
yeah.
And
And there is no
such
quick
to such.
that I think that the problem is like if you're gonna do that, right? If you're gonna do that, this is the content. Please don't force your players to like go back. Just let them go to the last. If your intention is like they should have to do this content like visions and corruption and blah 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 blah. Let them like get to that content faster than going through all content saying, "Ah, yeah, this is cool," but like I'm doing nothing to actually like get proper results in the expansion. And yes, you should go through the campaign because that's the normal progression. But going through like forcible content that is not current is a problem, right? You can migrate some like late stages. Like if something inside the content was interesting to do, you can like either scale it up where it is still good to do in the patch that you're doing or don't, right?
I don't I don't know if I completely agree with that. Like things like reputation grinding that is not going anywhere,
All right, yeah.
and I'm putting rewards behind reputation and like meaningful stuff like essences and things like that
Yeah.
behind reputation. I don't think is a bad idea on itself.
All right.
And I don't know, it wasn't that bad. Like my experience, it wasn't that bad.
Fair enough.
Like I know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
know that you're talking about like grinding 8.2 content to
Yeah.
stuff in 8.3.
Yeah.
That I had to it. It wasn't that bad. It took a couple of weeks, but it was fine. And I can see like for the people who ran through a content when it was actual,
Yeah.
like saying, "Oh, I have this," means that this person put the time
To do it.
and letting people slide on the time serve, I guess.
Yeah, but remember that those kind of like show off things shouldn't be like power,
Um,
in my opinion.
I don't know. It's I don't I don't completely. It shouldn't be everything, but it's like if I see a player right now that has conflict and strike 3,
Yeah.
I say, yeah, this person went through the hoops of doing the rated PvP, of farming them PvP content to get his essence.
Yeah.
Nice. I really don't feel bad. Like when I think that I have to, it's like, fuck it, I have to. But I don't like when I see someone with it. I think, oh, cool. Like they went through this.
I don't know. I don't like those kind of things tied to power.
It doesn't bother me because it's not like an essence is not the end all be all.
Yes.
It is an essence, and I replaced it with a different rank 3 essence that I had. That was my next best in slot, and
Yeah.
I can do. Like it works perfectly for me. I do fine trading. I do fine doing keys. So that's why it doesn't bother me that much. Do I want to get it? Yeah. Will I eventually get it? Yeah. I'm like super tortured by the idea that I have to grind PvP. I'm kind of annoyed, but it doesn't take away from my sleep.
Okay, fair enough.
Like I'll eventually get around doing it.
All right.
Like for the longest time, I avoided doing rated PvP to get the rated rank. And one day I say fuck it, I bug seal to help me, and we did it like in 2 days or something.
All right.
And it's not that bad. I really
But I don't want to do that. That sounds like a pain in the ass. I don't have any best in slot essence tied to PvP, fortunately, but I do have one best in slot essence tied to an old raid.
Yeah, and there are still people farming for it. So
yeah.
No, like I know it's Eternal Palace Essence.
Yeah.
When I farmed for that one, it didn't took me that long.
Really?
Yeah. It took me maybe 4 weeks.
Did you do like looking for raid?
Yeah. No, not LFR, but like random groups of people that are now running Heroic and Mythic.
Oh, curious. All right.
Because that is an old raid, and now we have somehow over-geared the raid. It's not that we can one-shot things, but the fights are definitely easier and faster. So there are still groups of people running Heroic and Mythic Eternal Palace.
Like premates, all right.
Yeah, premade groups, like Pox, but premade.
Yeah.
So when I did it, it took me maybe like 4 weeks. And 4 weeks sounds like a lot of time, but in the WoW scheme of things, is not that much.
Fair enough.
It's not that much because it's not 4 weeks doing that every day. It's 4 weeks that, okay, I need to kill these bosses, and I can only loot them once a week.
All right.
So it's maybe 5 or 6 hours between looking for posts and getting the kill.
Yeah.
On that week, and then I forget about that week because I cannot kill the boss. I cannot loot the bosses again. So
yeah, fair enough.
To suck.
Yeah.
So as I'm saying, 4 weeks in the WoW scheme is not 7 days, 24 hours doing the same shit. It's probably
I think the biggest problem of this expansion overall is like they're unfriendly to alts, and that translates
super unfriendly.
Yeah, and that translates to the complaints of the PvP that this guy is having. Because like part of that is the problem, like it's super unfriendly to alts, and like I insist, like it's not bad that you have to do the legwork, but if you have to do it multiple times, man, I want to shoot myself in the foot.
Oh no, I agree. You should do the legwork at least once.
Yes.
And after that, just let it go.
Yeah, exactly.
but just do it once.
Yeah. It's fine. Agree. I feel like even with all that I complain about the Pathfinder achievement, once I did it, all right.
And it wasn't the third.
Yeah. I think we agree on that. Like you should do the legwork at least once.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You do the legwork once, and that should be fine.
Yeah.
Is it BFA alt friendly? Not at all. It's a huge pain in the ass. The cloak, the visions, the essences, everything is just annoying. But
And I would love to have an alt, to have a fire mage, and I love to finish the other alt as a tank, the paladin that I have. But just thinking about getting to BFA and doing everything again that I do with the warrior is just like, no. I just don't want to. Like, I don't mind going to activities and gear up. Like, I don't mind doing questing for gearing up. I don't mind doing mythic for gearing up. I don't mind. I don't mind doing the raid in low levels to gear up. But the rest of things, like the Najutar shit that you have to do, the quest lines that you have to do, the progression of the cloak that you will eventually have to do. uh,
I think I'm thinking about my alt.
yeah,
Like now, because now you can buy essences and corruption with echoes.
yeah,
So now with my alts, even if because I'm not grinding reputation for them.
yeah,
The only thing that I need to is do stuff that gives me echoes, which means the weekly invasions, and I should be doing more dungeons, more mythic dungeons on
there
my
isn't
own.
like a specific essences tied to certain
Yeah,
classes.
but yes, but since I already have them unlocked in my main, I can buy them with echoes from Mother.
Okay, really?
Yeah,
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah, that helps. That helps
but
the
but that,
progress.
that that that's a fairly recent change that came in
Yeah,
8.3. So yeah.
yeah,
So right now, if you have the essence unlocked in your quote unquote main, you can buy them with echoes on your alts, or it's equivalent on your alts.
yeah. But you still have like to
But that means
do.
that you
Yeah,
you have to farm echoes,
yeah,
and that it's usually do like basically doing anything will give you echoes in the game by
yeah.
this point.
Anyways, we agree with this dude. It's too much hoops.
It's too much hoops. It should be easier to get into rated PvP. I agree with that.
Yeah,
And I like your suggestion of having like like activity specific bonuses.
yeah.
That can get tricky to
To
balance
balance, of course. Yeah,
in times of like player time
yeah.
that you wanna burn for each one of them, because basically you're saying, okay, you need to gear up 3 times.
Yes.
It's tricky. It's just a
Yeah, it's just
tricky.
tricky. Yeah. Anyways, we move to our next topic. What happened with the Warframe partner program? They're changing it, as I understand it, right? They're changing it to something else. They haven't said what it's going to change to. When they're going to
Yeah.
disappear the current Warframe
So
partner
so
program.
so have you heard of a lot of the drama around the
I don't know. I
Warframe
saw
thing?
a post in Reddit. Like, I was reading this. I was like, oh yeah, they're changing it for something else. Maybe they want to restructure how it works. All right, fair enough. Because
No, but
I read what you sent me. Like, and then I
fair enough.
saw in Mainframe and Warframe posts like, oh yeah, finally they're gonna disappear the partner program. Everybody that hates a gay guy plays is gonna have drama, and I was like, what is happening? So tell me about it.
I mean, there is this content creator on the Warframe community
Yeah.
who a lot of like, I don't know, I don't want to mention his name. You already
Yeah.
kind of don't want to
Too
give
late.
him. I know,
Yeah.
but I won't repeat it. I want to give him more. I don't want to put his name in
All right.
front.
Fair enough. All right.
But he's a very toxic content creator,
All right.
and toxic not only against the game but against the community. Like I don't know if you ever went through his stream or their stream,
Yeah.
like he will be hostile to a lot of people.
I didn't know. I sometimes saw his like YouTube content, and he was like very harsh toward like the game, but I didn't know that he was too harsh with the community too.
Yeah, it is. It was really toxic.
All right.
So a lot of people felt that specific content creator shouldn't be part of the partner program, because it's basically what was the partner program? It was basically a curated list of content creators
Yeah.
ID.
Yes. Yeah.
The message that sends is this is the DE approved content.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. Yeah. I know what you're getting. Yeah.
and having a person that is perceived by most of the community as super toxic,
Yeah, it gives a bad image to the whole thing. Yeah.
like it leaves a lot of the like a huge part of the community thinking, why do they allow this?
Yeah.
Like no matter what you think of the guy, like someone who insults their audience on their own stream, should that be like the curated content? Like I'm not like you can do whatever you want in your stream. You can talk shit about whoever you want.
Yeah.
But if you're part of like if you're the game developer or you're curating content,
Yeah.
is that the content that you wanna approve? Like as the developer of the game.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
there's a good argument to say, it's maybe not.
Well, things like you have to accept voices of hard criticism, right? But if I
No,
didn't know that he was like
no.
that bad
One
against the community.
one thing is being critic of the game,
Yes, 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 yes.
and a lot of the Warframe partners are.
Yes, correct, correct.
And a lot of them are not toxic towards people.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing that I 100% says. Like, man, he's
That's
that toxic
completely
against the community, especially Warframe.
like
Man, you can be toxic in so many different communities, but in Warframe,
I know. Like for
right.
example, the guy who makes the weapon reviews annually that you like.
Yeah, Brosine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He partner. He's super critic of the game.
yeah, but
But
he's
he
super
wasn't.
good in the community.
I don't like his content,
Yeah.
but he was never toxic really
Yeah,
towards the community.
correct. Yes,
Or
yes.
even towards the game. Like I didn't like his delivery, but he was just harsh.
Yeah, correct.
I can give him that. I don't like it. Not my type of content.
Yeah,
But I cannot say that he was toxic per se.
correct. Yes, yes.
Maybe I thought it was too much at some point, but I was like, sure, it's fine.
Yeah,
That it's fine. But like there were other content who were just like straight up toxic. Like someone will say something in chat that person disagree with on their stream, and the content creator will just rant about them and like just be toxic towards people.
yeah.
That is the thing that is kind of really is that like that just looks bad. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And I've been and for experience, I've been like harsh against viewers in my own stream, like, but like I'm not toxic towards an entire community of like super defensive or attacking a community.
That doesn't. I'm not saying that you can do in your stream.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
That the criticism is not about the guy. Like the person can be as toxic as they want.
Yeah.
That's fine. The criticism is against is
if he's part of the partner program and maybe they have like some speculations, like, but that depends how is structured the partner program. Maybe they're not vigilant enough, or maybe they don't have their priorities straight with what they want inside the partner program or not.
No, it was. I mean, for as good as or bad the program was,
yeah.
The partner program was for the most part who are the friends of the.
All right, fair enough.
And like for. And by that I mean who are the friends of like specific community managers in the.
All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's bad. All right, fair enough.
That is bad, and that's the same thing that happened with. It happened a couple of months ago with the. With the guides, the Lotus guides.
The Lotus guides. All right.
Yeah. Do you know what that was?
No. What was it?
So there was this program where, basically the will curate a list of players that they will call Lotus guides.
Yeah, the extended community managers dudes. Basically, that's what they were.
That's what they were, but that's not what they were intended to. They were just intended to be like people helping other players.
Correct. Yes. I heard of that. But it was
But the,
technically community managers like extended. Even if that was not the intention of the program, it was clearly
yeah,
that. It was like you want to like give some community manager responsibility to random people. That
yeah,
gives
but
him
really
some kind of
random,
power.
and a lot of people criticized that program because it again became
Yeah.
these are the friends of the,
Yeah. Oh my God.
and it became like a super toxic
Place. Yeah.
environment,
Yeah. I heard about this. Yes.
and they ended up killing the program
Yes.
because it got out of hand.
Correct.
And
It was
the same
there
thing
was like a
happened.
huge scandal about this dude who was like super sexist. I remember this. It was like
Yeah,
super
there was
sexist, racist, or
some,
something like that, and he was like he was never touched, and he like insulted players.
yeah,
It
he
was
solved the
terrible. Yeah,
players like on chat, and he was
yeah,
super toxic with certain sections of the community,
yeah, yeah.
and it was basically, and the same thing was the
Happening with the
Warframe
program. All
partner
right, fair
program.
enough. Yeah.
It is a good idea at heart.
Yes, correct. Yeah. I agree.
It's just that it was implemented probably with not that much care. And like I cannot blame them. Like they probably didn't knew where the thing was going on. They were winging it.
Correct. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it looks like a good idea. How can it go wrong? It went wrong.
You went wrong. Yeah.
and they didn't know the scope that it was gonna take, how big the game was gonna become.
Yeah.
And yeah, hindsight 2020, it's like,
Correct.
yeah, just having my friends there, it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So it is kind of, a lot of people have criticized the partner program for the same reason. A lot of the criticism comes from this specific. A lot of people disliking this specific content creator that is just insanely toxic. Like it's just absurdly toxic.
Yeah.
And they scrap it out, and apparently, sadly, at least the official Warframe announcement
Yeah.
doesn't say anything about like how it's specifically going to change.
Yeah.
It says that it's gonna. One good thing is that apparently it's going to include more types of creators, because before it was basically YouTubers and streamers.
Yeah. All right. Those were the only ones that had access to the partner program.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
now they are gonna do things so that they can include artists and podcasts and
find
more
sites,
like
yeah, it was more
diverse
parts of
type
it.
of content.
Which is good. Hopefully, we'll have like a good enough curation, or at least terms. Like, please give terms of service to these people. Like, do not get them caught. And if you have to cut people out, you cut people out, man. You cannot you cannot allow it to become another cesspool of random shit, man.
Yeah, that was one of the even though I think this is a good thing that they're just scrapping the program and doing something from scratch.
Yeah.
This has gotten a lot of criticism because they're saying, oh, they didn't have the balls to just kick this guy out of the program.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They prefer to scrap an entire instead of the. But like, but the thing is like, it makes sense if you didn't have certain prerogatives when you start a program, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Then you have to restructure the program, of course. Like if you don't start.
No.
Right.
I agree with that. I think the best approach was just to scrap it and start from zero with like clear guidelines and everything laid out correctly.
Yeah.
I agree. It just looks bad, like from the outside.
Yeah,
it looks like they didn't have like the to kick the guy.
The cojones.
And yeah. And instead of making the hard decision of we're just gonna kick the guy because that is a hard decision.
Yeah.
They kind of took the roundabout and we're just gonna scrap everything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that looks bad.
I know.
At the same time, I still believe this is the best option.
Correct.
Yes. Just scrap it all, start from zero. Let's try to build something useful.
Yeah. hopefully they learn and they put like proper guidelines and proper things, and because it is always good if you have this kind of like extending programs and
Oh,
make your
absolutely.
assertion known. Like if something like this happen in the future is good. Like the ideal of course it was, and I understand like the partner program was very easy to access as a content creator because I was looking into it and it was like it has little to no, it has some requirements but it has little to no like um compromises with the but you have to do or not to do or say or not to do inside the partner program. It was a little to no to nothing. You just have to like uh you have to just like uh, do certain quotas of content
And
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 like
and and,
that's okay,
and
but like if you're not giving me like no guidelines then you cannot like police good content inside the program.
but even those quotas were
Yeah,
not required for everyone.
correct. Yeah,
Like you'll have people like, oh, the Australian guy with the Ruyos.
big
Forgot
potato,
his
Mr. Potato.
no.
uh
The
uh
other one that makes a funny show with his brother.
the skill point,
Yeah,
skill cap,
he
sorry,
was.
skill
Yeah,
cap, yeah,
skill up. Yeah,
skill
he
up, yeah,
was still like a Warframe partner,
yeah.
but he never really plays Warframe anymore.
No, he did like the biggest review of Warframe,
Which,
and that's why.
yeah, but then I know, and
Yeah,
everyone knows that's why.
yeah.
It's not a secret.
Yes, correct.
But is that really a Warframe partner? Like, is that what the program should be? When like
No,
if
again,
you're like a little known person, like
yeah,
you're just a small YouTube channel that does his content, and you stop filling the quota, you can get kicked.
yeah, of course, yeah, and that's unfair
Is
if
that
you don't have like,
is
yeah,
yeah, exactly. Is that fair?
yeah, no,
Why do they keep Skill Up? Yeah, because he's a huge
then that's not
review
the
channel.
intention. Like they should, and if they, and it's fine if they want to have those like
Oh,
friends or
it's
certifiers, but it should be different from a partner program. It should be like
oh,
I
absolutely.
am
No,
like, and like to give you an example, it's like, oh yeah, Skill Up is D certified, for example, or like Warframe approved, or some shit like that. Things that you can do because they do like one piece of very good content that is good for the game. But the partner program is supposed to be like something constant and something that helps
no,
your game
no,
all the
and
time,
I
right?
I completely agree with you, and that was a criticism that a lot of people are saying. Like if you'll go to the old Warframe page and you'll look at people who like haven't done Warframe content in years,
Yeah,
but they were still part of the program because they appear on the list. That's the whole point. Like the Warframe
yeah.
partner is just a list of the approved content,
Correct, yeah.
and then people was like, that looks bad.
Correct, yeah.
It just come on, like
Yeah. Yeah, I think Eiflin's still part of the program. He hasn't done like Warframe content in a while. And he
absolutely.
and he retired from the game. Like he publicly retired from doing content for Warframe.
Yep. Should that person be still a partner?
No.
Probably not.
He should be DE approved because his guides are still useful. His stuff that he did is still useful, but
Yeah, but he like if he's not making current content anymore,
no, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
that is taking a spot for some people who are actually just like
that are
putting
interested
the
of
work.
doing current program and they're
Yeah,
small starting or like etc etc. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this
and that doesn't take away from the quality of the content that some like iFlame or
yeah,
Skill
correct.
Lab did at some point.
Yeah.
Still amazing content, but
Yes.
should it be on the curated list?
No. Probably not.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully they learn. Hopefully they
Hopefully,
hopefully they
the worrying part is that at least in the official
announcement, yeah.
announcement, none of this. Like it is not clear how is it gonna work.
Yeah.
So we can just hope that it works that it goes in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell at this point.
No, my god. Hopefully they're better. Do better, D. You can do better.
Yeah, don't put your friends.
Yeah, please
Please.
stop it.
That's just
I
a
know
bad
that you like
idea.
Skill Up. I know that he's a great guy, great content creator, good reviewer, but like,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
but this kind of program should be apart from,
yeah,
especially what a lot of the times felt for the community, that they were just, oh, these people are in here just because they're perceived
yeah,
as friends of the staff,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that just looks so
Terrible.
bad,
Yeah, that looks terrible. It looks
so
terrible,
bad.
terrible, terrible. Wow.
Like I don't think that this should be monitored like by a third party. Like
Yeah, no, they should have like a proper like, but they have like the weirdest things like they have experience on managing communities as the whole reason why the game is alive, but apparently they're not
I know,
strict
but
enough.
it's probably, to be fair, probably a community grew too much that like now the couple of people that they have in the community team, it's not enough to monitor.
Probably, yeah. I will agree
And
with that.
they are people as well. Like they can think, oh, like they can make a decision that they think is good, but it is objectively not.
Yeah,
And sometimes when you're too close to a problem, you cannot see the
fair enough.
consequences.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying, that you probably need for this thing like a third party looking at things more objectively than
yeah,
the staff, which is really involved in the game, like
yes,
invested emotionally in the game.
yes, 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 yes.
You need someone with a little bit of distance saying, maybe not.
Yeah. Hey, this is not cool. All right.
Yeah, which it's just human
Fine. Yeah.
nature. I'm
It's
not
what
judging.
happens. Yeah, yeah. Warframe is such a like bigger game that was a couple of years ago. So
That it was, yeah, it's a huge game compared to what it was when probably the partner program was created.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. All right. And our last topic is the value of a good player experience. So I was looking at the internet, especially on Destiny 2, and I found this lovely post that is like, oh, I pick up Destiny 2 and it's fantastic. I love the lore. I've been like playing and like I love Byfear and I love the content that is in the game and I love everything that I experienced so far. So my point here is like sometimes it's very much important to have a good new player experience, even with the new light thing and everything else going around with Destiny 2, to actually have new players than it is to have 100% super healthy grind and end game stuff. And like I wanna just like bring that into light uh in
If
general, because we've been like so harsh to Destiny 2 in this podcast all the time. I know the problems that it still has in the dungeons, but we forget that they still have a very strong new player experience and that the game is very strong on the start of it, right? And there's a value to that. There's a value to have like a strong game that you can pick up and play and be
yeah,
and be good with it, right?
I think I don't think the new player experience of Destiny is especially good.
Yeah,
I think that in those initial hours, the gameplay shines a lot,
yeah,
and
yes,
the gameplay in Destiny 2 is definitely the strongest point.
correct.
Just because like shooting and pew pew and killing enemies in Destiny 2 is fun.
Yes, correct.
That is, in my opinion, the strongest part of the game, and that shines a lot at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, when you're going through the story and that sort of stuff. Yeah,
And going through a story, like not caring to like you, like gear doesn't really matter.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
just get better each time, and you get better weapons, and you get to experience all the weapons.
yeah.
So in that sense, it shines. But it just, I don't think it's because a specifically good new player like experience. It's just because the gameplay is good.
Yeah, correct. All right, yeah.
It's just that Destiny 2 wears off really fast when you get it at the end, and it's like, oh shit, there is not much else to do.
Yeah.
So that's what I think it happens.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. What do you think about the new play experience in World of Warcraft right now?
World of Warcraft is such an old game. It is, and it
And
suffers from.
and that's the reason why the new play experience give you like a super overhaul in Shadowlands, because they desperately need it.
Yes, they definitely do. Like, yeah, like if you're like a 14-year-old
yeah,
and you get into Warcraft for whatever reason, yeah, the first couple of hours, they can be rough
yeah,
compared to like actual like current standards of video games.
yeah. And that was exactly what I was thinking in the contracts. It's like, yeah, the player experience of Destiny grabs you from the first moment because the gameplay is excellent. And then you take like World of Warcraft, it's like, man, this place is so pretty. It's so harsh to go through it. And like, have you seen like the new designs for the new play
I have
experience in
seen a little.
Shadowlands?
Yeah, no, it's definitely designed to be more streamlined and
Yeah,
to give players more useful information.
yeah,
Because right now it's kind of you just have quests and
yeah.
maybe you learn some stuff throughout.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
Maybe, yeah.
there is one thing to be said about that,
Yeah,
and is that it kind of suffered the same in a different manner, but
yeah,
the same problem that Warframe has is that
yeah,
the first couple of hours are rough because there's a lot of self guidance,
yes.
like in the sense that, for example, in Warframe, like okay, you get to the first 2 hours of game, and then the game throws you into a game
Into the
and
space, yeah.
do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And Warcraft has kind of the same feel. Okay, you do the first like your racial starting area,
Yeah,
and you say, oh, okay, I'm doing this quest, everything is, and then they throw you, for example, the humans, like you, the little initial son,
yeah,
and then fuck, they throw you into Goldshire,
yeah. You're
and
like,
from that point on,
huh? Yeah. You're like, right?
like the only thing that the game has teach you is that you can do quests,
Yeah,
but aside from that, you can just take off and do whatever you want. Like
yeah,
you can ignore all the quests and just start riding a horse and or walking wherever you want and
yeah. And kill random stuff and whatever.
kill random. In that sense, it's a very similar like player motivated kind of experience.
Yeah,
And that is very intimidating if you're a new player and you want a more like if you're completely new to a genre, like if you have never played an MMORPG or an action RPG like
yeah,
Warframe, you're completely lost. And yes, that's where a more modern approach to video games can help.
yes, 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 yes.
Also, yeah, no, it's probably World of Warcraft is not that appealing for a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's like, dude, no. But the
no,
problem
like
is
if you
like,
think of,
but the thing is like, they need those new players, man. The game
oh no,
needs
no,
new
no, they
players,
do, they
new
do.
blood. Yeah.
I'm just putting myself in the mindset of 14-year-old.
Of course.
What
Of
do I
course.
enjoy?
Yes,
Minecraft,
of course, of course.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
And compared to those kind of experiences, World of Warcraft at the beginning is a really slow experience.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need to go to the mines and kill 15 enemies. Oh, now you get to farm to loot 20 candles out of those enemies. That is one of the first quests that you have to do in
Correct.
Goldshire
Yes. Yes. Go to.
get candles from kobolds or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And that is, I love it because that's what I grew up liking.
Yeah.
And I find it endearing, but
Yeah.
I'm also really old by now. So
Yes. Correct.
yeah,
Correct,
no,
correct.
it definitely will benefit. I hope it benefits from the new player experience at least.
Yeah, and I've seen the new animations. They're nice. The new zones are cool.
Oh,
Like,
the new zone apparently is super cool, and the
yeah,
quests are like way more dynamic and way more onto you, teaching you stuff.
yes.
Like teaching you about CC, teaching you about more basic stuff.
Yeah.
While the current initial songs are just, oh,
Look,
go kill this many.
yeah, come back.
And you
Nice.
just get new spells.
Uh-huh.
Each time you level up and you what the fuck is this? You have to go out and read.
Yeah.
Which it's not a thing that players are used to nowadays.
Yeah, no. Like tutorialization and new player experience has been evolved so much in the past years with the people that they want to grab, especially now, which makes sense. Especially if you want
Oh,
to keep
absolutely.
a long term game running, you have to be on point with that experience, because that's your entry point. That's when you get your fresh blood.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. And everyone is praising the new leveling zones, like
Yeah.
the new leveling zones. So
Yeah, a lot of people are very happy with what they're doing with the next iteration.
I will make a new character just to play through it, see how it is.
I'm just by now. I'm gonna just wait till Shadowlands to do my fire mage. Like at this point, I'm like, yeah, just gonna. I look so nice.
No, I'm still gonna do alt now because I was talking about this with Sil, and
Yeah.
by this point, at least in my hunter, I don't have much content that I can realistically do. So, for example, I cannot get in my hunter any more upgrades from heroic rating.
For her, yeah. Now is legendary time.
Now it's mythic.
Mythic time, sorry. Yeah.
But the jump in difficulty from heroic to mythic is so steep that pug in mythic is really unlikely.
All right. Yeah.
So, like, and from what I have heard, most pug can down the first 3 bosses in mythic.
Okay.
But as like beyond that, it is really hard to pug mythic bosses in the raid. It's pretty much impossible.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, it is rough. And I have done it. Like I downed 2 mythic bosses. I've downed Radian and Skitra.
Oh, nice. Cool.
In pugs. But pug groups will more than likely not get beyond Moth.
Of course, yeah. You just have to wait till our rating gets there, and that's gonna take time.
Yeah, and it may not get there.
Yeah, it may not get it. Yeah, they didn't get there with the last raid, right?
No.
Yeah.
No. It's like our guild is definitely a heroic rating guild.
Yeah.
It's a heroic progress guild, which I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah.
But by this point, like my hunter cannot do much more.
So basically, you reach the cap of progression in your main. Basically, that's what you're telling me.
Pretty much, like I can still get better stuff. Like I can get a couple of pieces of gear that I can optimize a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that will come from doing the same content.
Yeah. So you're like in a super slow progress in your, even if like basically you reach a soft cap.
I reach a soft cap, and I'm not saying that the game is done for me. Like, no, there's still a lot of things that I can do.
Yeah.
But in terms of
progress, in terms of progress, a soft cap.
Basically what I can do now is just try to push keystones as far as I can.
Yeah.
Just to get to a point that I can comfortably farm 15s.
Yeah.
And then my only upgrades will come probably from the weekly chest more than the engine itself.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So, yeah. And like, depending on the weekly chest to get upgrades is... It's such a slow process that it's not realistic. Like, it's not... It is a nice thing if it happens, but more than likely it won't happen.
Yeah.
So, I will probably take my druid and start gearing him up.
Cool.
For healing.
Nice. Maybe if I get there with the warrior, I probably think the same. Maybe I will say that it's time to level up the other thing, and I will go through the grind of like leveling up the other alt. But I'm not there yet. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not gonna stop playing my hunter. Like I think we have in the guild a good chance to get everyone OTC.
Nice. Yeah, to finish the heroic run. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're getting there. Like we can kill Ilganoth
Yeah. Ugh.
and then go through Skitra and Vexiana.
Yeah.
Which we have killed Skitra before, and Vexiana is not different. Like the heroic fight is not different
Yeah.
from normal. It just hits harder.
Yeah.
If we can get those three down,
We
we are
can
definitely
go
in
to
a good path
Nosovia.
to get everyone AOTC.
Fair enough. Nice. Yeah.
I think we can do it.
We can do it. We can do it.
If you show up for the raid, we can do it.
I'm sorry.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know. All right. So to finish this topic up,
Yep.
like I think you should like get a good new player experience every time. Even like if Destiny is not a big game, they have that strength of getting new blood all the time through their very good gameplay. At least that's the strong suit it gets reflected in the new play experience, and I want that to be the case in all the other games. That the strong suit should shine in the new player experience, and that's what grabs new players.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I think Destiny 2 is a very front-loaded experience.
Yes, you're probably right.
In the sense that you get a lot of the good stuff at the beginning.
Yes.
Like, oh, the story is kind of shitty, but it's so fun to play through.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And as you work towards the end, it kind of wears off.
Yeah.
Well, games like Warcraft and Warframe are more like... Warframe is more like middle. Like it's more like... weights more in the middle. Like once you get over the, oh, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
To a point where you're in the middle of the grind, it is so much fun.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
And it wears off at the end again.
Yeah.
Well, Warcraft is kind of loaded at the end. It's definitely a game made for the end game. It's kind of the leveling up, the gearing up is just kind of busy work, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Because you want to get to fun stuff at the end.
Correct. Yeah. Interesting.
So that's it's. I think they're weighted in different manners.
Yeah. Correct. All right. With that, we move to our audience questions and feedback. Don't forget that if you want to send in our feedback, you can leave it. If you're watching YouTube, you can leave it down in the comments below. We will read that. We will check our mails. We check our personal Twitter accounts at Luis Polanco and at DLNG and The Long Name Gamer. You can pass by my stream and leave questions about the podcast there. I will listen to them, take notes, and respond here. If you're listening into your listening device in any shape, way, or form, you can like send us an email and communicate in any shape, way, or form to us. What are your burning questions? For the first feedback is, I like your podcast, but I actually hear the news and later hear the deep dive on like 2 separate occasions. Have you considered doing something like news thing first and a deep dive thing separately?
So to split the podcast into different pieces of content.
Yeah, into a news, which like if you think about it, we kind of do like between half an hour, 40 minutes of news, and then we do the same with the feedback. So he's asking if we have considered to do like a news show and then a podcast with just a deep dive.
I haven't thought about it, but nothing is out of the table.
There you go. I thought about it. It was like interesting in doing like two content delivers in the week. That would be interesting.
That will be interesting. It's not out of the table. Like a lot of that depends on you actually, because you're the one who does the editing.
Yeah.
Because we could record everything in one batch as we're doing now.
Yeah.
And then split it in post.
Yes.
So
yeah, and I was thinking about it. It's like probably the news will be the first thing that we release because the news are like fresh. You have to get like kind of fresh news, and then the deep dive somewhere along the week.
It could be unofficial.
It could be what?
It could be unofficial.
Yeah. So it's an interesting. Thanks for the feedback. We will think about it and see if we can structure in some shape or form to do that. And
Yeah,
I think it will be like better to consume it in like smaller dosage.
it
We've been
it could
that
be, yeah,
yeah, we've been
absolutely.
getting that feedback over and over again. That's how maybe
Yeah,
2 hours is too
one
much.
thing that I have to say is that because of the way that I consume content,
Yeah.
I prefer the longer format, but I'm probably in the minority for that.
Yes. I don't mind. Like I usually consume a lot of podcasts, but that podcast like they're actually like the longest one that I do consume is like an hour, between an hour and
No,
50 minutes.
I usually consume podcasts between 2 and 3 hours.
There you
So yeah,
go.
it is. I mean, it is my preference, but I can see the benefit of splitting it.
There you go.
We could benefit a lot from that.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Thank you for the feedback. And then our next question is: if you had to pick one competitive game to play forever, what it will be?
World of Warcraft.
Just competitive World of Warcraft.
In whatever form.
Like competitive, like people, like you will be like Mythic Plus. That will be the format that you will take.
It will be amazing, like to get a group of people where we can actually like train and get good at Mythic Plus, for example.
Gee, all right.
Wouldn't it be?
Well, I think the conclusion is like Lucho will be buried playing World of Warcraft.
I mean, it's just out of the games that I play, Warframe has no competitive scene whatsoever.
Correct. Yes. That is
And
true.
it's a chill game, and
Yeah.
I love it for that.
Yeah.
Destiny, I really tried, but it didn't grab me.
Correct. Yeah.
Borderlands, aside from like the speedrunning scene,
Yeah.
doesn't have much competitive. So
Yeah. Correct. So yeah, there you go.
and I don't like speedrunning.
Yeah. And he like he doesn't like the rest of the competitive games. Like
I mean, like FPSs.
yeah,
I'm really bad at
Overwatch,
them.
Counter Strike.
I'm fucking 30 years old. I'm not gonna get good at FPSs now. I can play them casually and I will have fun.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like things like Overwatch.
Yeah.
Sure. Will I get competitive in Overwatch? Not really. It's too stressful. I don't like MOAs.
Yeah, there you go. He doesn't like
and I don't like these PUBG like games.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
I tried them. I had fun, but I wouldn't spend my time of those.
Yeah, fair enough. And
So,
for me, I will pick up. I'll take forever and ever, like any form, any shape or form of Magic the Gathering. It will be like online or offline. I will take that and play it forever.
yeah, I could take the dumbed down version of Magic.
What, Hearthstone?
Hearthstone, yeah.
There you go.
I like the aesthetic of Hearthstone. It's just Magic requires so much time investment.
I know.
I don't have it.
I know. It's fair. All right.
I love Magic, but to get competitive,
it's another
too
thing.
much for me.
Yeah, it's another thing. I'll absolutely, yeah. I understand. I totally understand that.
Love the game. It's close to my heart. But the time investment is just fucking insane.
Yeah. All right, that is it of our show today. Why isn't it? So, hello. Oh my god,
Hello.
OBS went crazy. All right, there you go.
That's all for this week's episode. Once again, thanks for tuning into the Sweaty and the Farmer and the Game Design. My name is Lucho, and you can find me on Twitter at LuisGPolanco.
And I am the Lone Name Gamer, and you can find me on Twitter at the Lone Name Gamer and on Twitch on twitch.tv/Lone Name Gamer TV, where I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, notification bell, stars, I think, in one of the podcast things, likes on Spreaker. Google has a plus thingy and like give us love or something like that. You can like go through Facebook and like Send us good things. Do everything social to help us.
Please.
Doing this podcast. Love and everything. And that's what the farmer and the game design is this your podcast. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Bye.
And did you know the mango tree plays a sacred role in India? It's a symbol of love, and some believe that they can even grant wishes. Oh my god. The oldest living mango tree is 300 years old and is found in East Khandesh because of the sacredness of things. Surprisingly, this tree still produces fruit. Edible.
Nice.
And it's so cool.
And the vitamin content of mango varies depending on the variety and the maturity of the fruit. While still green, mangoes have a higher vitamin C content, but as the fruit ripens and matures, the amount of vitamin A contains, it increases.
So what do you like more? Green mango or
Green mango with salt and pepper.
Yes! You're my people!
That shit is so good.
It is the best. Green mango with salt and pepper and lime. You have to put lime on it.
You don't have to, but it's really good.
It's really good with lime. I remember, like,
I remember getting it after high school,
yes,
after high school.
Exactly, it was the best thing ever. You go out of high school long day and you go and buy some like green mangoes with lime, pepper, and salt. Man,
Yeah,
those were the
so good.
days. Delicious mango. If you've never tried this, if you're listening in countries, please get green mango. Put some lime, salt, and pepper on it, and enjoy the best thing in your life.
It is definitely. It sounds weird, but it's so good.
Yeah, it sounds really weird, but we guarantee 100% seal of approval here in this Sweaty the Farmer and Design.
Yeah.
We guarantee you will have at least a nice taste of what was our high school.
Yeah, I remember getting it.